Welcome to Rico Racing. This is the 1,000 subscriber special. Thank you guys very much. That is a very special milestone. We're gonna go outside and line up all the cars and do like a cool car collection tour. It's snowy and that won't work because I'd have to dig 4 of them out of the snow.
It fucking windy!
So welcome to our 1,000 subscriber Q&A. First question. What year are the cars and what are their suspension types?
What year it?
What year it?
It is.
It.
Alright. So I'll go with mine first.
Alrighty.
Because mine is nuanced. My bug is by the VIN number, it is a 73. But by everything else on it, it is a 67.
We were thinking it's like body swapped or something.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they replaced the VIN number, so it's not stolen, I don't think.
Yeah.
But we're pretty sure it's a body swap and like an engine swap, because the engine is a 67, I'm pretty sure. It's hard to tell sometimes though, because there's so many different versions of things. But yeah, 67/73. And it is independent rear suspension.
IRS and ball joint front on that one. Rico is a 64 and, well, kind of. We originally ran it with the stock setup of swing axle rear suspension and link and link pin front suspension, which is a decent combo, but since we did all new long travel suspension, it's now IRS rear. Link pin front still with torsion, but it does have adjusters, so it's a little bit different.
Moving on.
Moving on. We got, what are the tire sizes? We get this question on like almost every video, so we came prepared. These are Goodyear Wranglers from 2021. I don't know if you can get these exact ones anymore, but they are the Trail Runner ATs. They're 235/75 R15s. He's got the same size on his car. This is one of our spares that we've never had to run because we've never had a flat tire. Knock on wood. And yeah, I really like them. They're not overly wide, and they're decently tall. I wish they were a little bigger. We'll upgrade tire sizes eventually, but that's expensive. Next question. Do you rub the floor pan when you steer with the big tires? Yes.
Yeah, especially mine. The reason I got 1-inch spacers for my wheels is because it was not only rubbing on the floor pan on the inside of the fender, it was rubbing on the suspension parts. Even with spacing it out 1 inch, it still hits the floor pan a little bit. I cut my fenders by like 2 or 3 inches and still hits those.
If you don't want to rub, don't go with the 235s. Go with something a little smaller like a 205 or a 215 or something. Next question. What kind of paint did you use? This was on the Fiero paint job video. I got that question on the Cabrio paint job video as well. And the answer is Ace brand spray paint. Yeah, and whatever was on sale. So I think it was like $5 a can. They both turned out pretty good.
They were pretty good.
They were pretty good.
For my bug, if just to answer that question, if it exists, we just use Duplicolor. It's like the slightly nicer version of spray paint, just canned spray paint. And it did really good because it's like super sandable and it's really hard.
Who made the trailing arms? So they're 6x6 boxed trailing arms made by one of our awesome mentors, Scotty. If you're watching this, you're awesome.
Yeah, Scotty.
Yeah, Scotty. He made them and then didn't like them. And so he gave them to us. And now that's what we're running. So yeah, he's a great welder. The welds on the trailing arms are just immaculate. They'd make the car look sick because they are 6 inches wider and 6 inches longer, but I would recommend 3x3s for your build because 6x6 is stupid and over the top.
Well, and then
Unnecessary.
3x3s, there's actually aftermarket support for. Because you look on J-Bugs and like CarTech and stuff, you see stuff for 3x3. Never seen anything.
Even
for 6x6.
5x5, you can find some stuff, but 6x6 is kind of it's an odd. Next question. Did you use a jig to weld the trailing arms in the proper place? Or did you weld them in blindly? No, we did not.
But you wouldn't say we did it blindly.
We didn't do it blindly either. We just used the arms themselves as a jig, which sucked because they're like 50 pounds each.
Yeah, those things.
I would not recommend. There is a jig you can buy on California Pacific, and it's like, I don't know, $100 or something. It's not bad. And it is the exact same measurement as factory, and it'll help. So do that, and don't be us. Don't go near my car with a tape measure, ever.
Especially the cage you built when you were 13.
Yeah. Next question. Is YORR Yellowstone Off-Road Racing? Yes. That is who we have raced with, Yellowstone Off-Road Racing. They're kind of an up-and-coming organization. They were really small in 2021, 2022 when we started racing, and they since have like significantly grown to the point where like Ultra 4 hosts a race with them, which is sick. But yeah, so Yellowstone Off-Road Racing, if you're in the Northwest, come hit some of them. Their tracks are epic and super rough, and yeah, it's a great time.
Everybody's super supportive. Like there was that one time when we were at the Big Sky 200, what'd you do, shear off the brake pedal from the little mount?
The little brake pedal push rod mount sheared off, and there was this Ultra 4 truck team that lent us their MIG welder because we didn't have one, and they like paused their entire legitimate racing organization to help
We're not legitimate.
our stupid asses out, which was hilarious. But yeah, so come race it's epic. Next question. Can a Beetle transmission handle the wheel size? How about the steering system?
What do you mean by handle it? And this is about my bug, by the way. This is about the 73.
Yeah.
The transmission, yeah. I mean, I don't think there's going to be anything. It's just a different ratio. I mean, the speedometer is going to be off by quite a bit because the wheels are huge. But the steering system, I guess, I don't know, because they are bigger wheels. Therefore, a rock could have more leverage on them. And I don't know, in the video of us driving around on those Forest Service trails with the big rocks, we did get the bug back down and there was a bent tie rod.
The tie rods bend really easily.
Yeah, they're also made of spaghetti.
Yeah,
So
you do want to beef those up, but in general, it'll work.
like I've caught air in this thing
Yeah.
and nothing happened.
Yeah.
As far as the transmission handling it, yes, it's fine. It's like, want to engine swap it, not going to handle that. But wheel size, I don't think really affects.
What's the difference between a 3 versus 5 rib bus transmission? This question was after the bus transmission swap video on Rico. And as far as I know, the 5 and 6 rib bus transmissions are just stronger than the 3 rib because when you're talking about the ribs on the transmission, it's the actual casting ribs on the side of them. All they do is strengthen the case. And if you're running a ton of horsepower and putting a ton of torque through the transmission, obviously you want a really strong case. I mean, our transmission is held up fine. We only have, 130-ish horsepower. No problem so far. But if you're gonna run anything more than that, I would say go for the 5 rib or the 6 rib, but they are more expensive. Next question. Anything else to reinforce the suspension? And what shocks did you use?
This is about my car again. When I bought it, the previous owner had put like really nice KYB shocks on it, and like they weren't stock really. I think they were slightly longer than stock. They have to be.
Marginally,
because, yeah, maybe stock, I don't know. But so the rear, we lifted it. The shocks fit back in perfect. The front, we lifted it too much because you have to cut and turn the beam, and it's not really like, you kind of estimate it. So we lifted it way too much, and the shocks didn't fit. Like they weren't long enough. So I kind of just drove it around for a while without any shocks on front.
That was fun.
And then it kind of like lowered a little bit over
Yeah,
time.
once it settled down, the stock shocks will actually work just fine.
Yeah. Anything else to reinforce areas? I need to get on that. I did put in like a 4-point roll bar, so that kind of stabilizes the body a little bit. I don't know, reinforce the bumper, that's for sure. 40 pounds of 1/8" wall tubing. That's reinforced.
In general, if you're building a Volkswagen to go off-road, if something looks spindly and too small, it probably is, and you should probably reinforce it. But they
Especially the tie rods, guys.
They are good cars, and they are very light, and they can take a beating. This comment was good. This was on lengthening the axles. This may be the dumbest modification I have ever seen. Those axles are solid core for a reason. This are going to twist or shear off. I'm all for jank repairs, but this just seems not well thought out. I promise you, it was not well thought out, but it was fun, and it worked, and we got lucky.
You only live once, folks. Like, come on.
Yeah.
There's not many people
Come
that can say they have like lengthened axles with what, it was 1/8" wall tubing.
Yes.
Just double sleeved it, so I mean it was 1/4 inch.
And they haven't
Yeah.
broken yet. And I've done a lot of little burnouts and fun things, and they're holding up just fine.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, once you get that
you know.
bigger radius,
Yeah.
you only need that outside diameter, and it's pretty strong.
To be clear, I am not defending myself. Because that was objectively the absolute wrong way to do it. I'm just saying,
It works.
it worked.
Let's go.
What class are we racing that in? Well, we used to race in the 1600 class with Yellowstone Off-Road Racing. That's a good class because you can kind of just take Baja Bug, buggies, you can have a Mannix buggy, like anything you want, you could take it and you just be running against other Volkswagens. As long as it's Volkswagen powered and has Volkswagen suspension and doesn't have, you know, any kind of like engine modifications or whatever, like you're good to run the 1600 class. And it was really fun. Theoretically now, after all the stuff we've done to it, it would be a class 5 unlimited. We built the wheelbase up to 105, so it's just under the limit there. So that might be questionable. But other than that, it is theoretically to class 5 unlimited standards. But I don't think I'm gonna race it because it would be not competitive at all. This was another comment on lengthening the axles. I don't always weld, but when I do it by my gas can. Don't watch my videos to learn stuff. That's bad. It was an oversight. I have gotten a lot of comments about that. Look around, take count of your surroundings, and don't be stupid. Next. This one's good. The real question is, why you're so abysmally unintelligent?
It's not even a question. I don't even know why you comment that because we admit it in like every single video.
We have fun. How are the axles holding up? Do they seem balanced or do they have vibrations? So far, no vibrations. The whole car is a vibration, so if
It's probably drowned out by other vibrations.
if there was a vibration, I probably wouldn't know because that whole car is just like driving it is like a bucket of bolts. So, but yeah, no, they're holding up just fine. They do spew oil everywhere because I need to get new axle boots. But what do you think, Rhett?
I don't know what I think. I think we answered some good questions. Ask more questions because we probably have an answer. Like,
yeah, if you guys like this kind of thing, we can do more because we have like way more comments than that. I narrowed it down to 15 good ones, but we have like probably 300 or 400 comments so far. So we could go through them and answer a bunch more of these. Yeah. So.
And sorry we haven't come out with anything recently.
Oh yeah.
Like
The
college and stuff.
upload schedule is rough right now because I'm in Missoula, Montana Grizz, and he's in he's in Bozeman, and it's
Makes things difficult.
yeah. But
So-
we're gonna try to do some stuff soon, guys. Thank you very much for 1,000 subscribers. that is an extremely crazy amount of people. I actually cannot believe it. I never thought we'd get this far.
The town I grew up in had
Yeah.
1,000 people.
So
that's crazy.
that's crazy.
Like,
Yeah, that's insane. So thank you so much for supporting the channel, and thank you for all the comments. We love comments. I love answering them. I also love just talking to you guys. So keep them coming. And if you guys want to see more stuff like this of us sitting at a table in my dad's kitchen, we could do more of that. It's kind of fun.
oh, thank you for watching, guys.
Thank you for watching. Yeah.